So hello and welcome to Square Ghost, and it is the review of our latest build. And what we have here is a DK set, DK Tec Creations, and it is the Magic Sidecar motorcycle. It is an 8+ set, number 7038, and it is 700 pieces. You also get a free stand with this set that holds the bike steady upright so as it doesn't fall over, which I'll show you in a moment. Where shall we start? Well, I'm going to start really with the build plans. Here is the book. Quite nice book, no problems with it. We go up. I hope you can see enough. As you see, it starts off with the motorbike and the body part there, not the saddle. Saddle comes a bit later, as you can see in the section. But the plans are not bad. You've got your pieces for each step. You've got directions of where everything goes. My only problem with the plans is sometimes to me it's not specific enough, it's not close enough. I like to build digitally. I think I've said this before. I think for me, you know, I can zoom in on a picture really close. Sometimes I've had to take a picture with my phone, zoom in nice and close so as you get the picture. Building the motor, for instance, was one of those times where you had to really look close to see what parts was what, just to make sure that it went together right. And don't get me wrong, it went together right. There was no problems with that whatsoever. It was me, and if there was any mistakes made, I hold my hand up and say it was definitely me. So the instructions are okay, you just need to watch them. We started off with the motorcycle. As I said, we built up the tank and the saddle. We then built up the engine. You can see we built up back wheel, lovely chain. Look at that chain, how that shits and glistens. You've got the exhaust that's sitting up there. You've got the engine that looks absolutely fantastic. What is there not to like about this set? Yes, it's been not a stressful build, that's the wrong word, but you have to pay attention to those build plans. And like I say, once you built up that, like getting the actual chain together was another, I won't say nightmare, but there was a piece missing. It ended up on my actual thing, didn't see it like an idiot. Then when I found it, a little bit more fiddling, and as you can see, it went together, jobs are good. And so a lot of the problems, or a lot of the cons of this set is down to me personally. I've got sausage fingers, I've said that, so I struggle with small parts. So I also shake a little bit. Can't help that, it is what it is. But at least if you look, I've managed to get it together, and I think it looks pretty good. Once the engine was in, chains was on, tyres, then we came to the end of the actual thing build was we put this wheel on, the front wheel on with the actual fenders, and then it was just a job of putting the lights on. And then of course we have the handlebars. We did have a problem with the handlebars where we was missing the little piece that connected both handlebars. At the time I didn't have a spare, so I put a longer rod in. When I came to fit it, of course, because it was a longer rod, it didn't line up. Took the longer rod out, managed to find a really little, like more or less a 2-strut length, two pin there, and it just about fitted in, gave me enough to get both handlebars on, and then it fitted into place, so no worries with that. The bike itself, you can see the suspension there of the bike. There's the back wheel. The exhaust is on the floor, it should be in the air. It's a little bit heavy, not going to moan about that though, and that's basically because it's on the stand, and of course it's all weighted down. You've got your backlights, as I've said. Once the bike was done, it was on to our next and final part, which of course was the sidecar. Again, nice solid build. As you can see, everything is together. We started off with the actual body of the sidecar, the actual inner sides. We then fixed the bottom sides and then these first, building back to the block, as you say. The actual fitting of the sidecar, as you saw, it would come right at the very end. I wanted to leave it for the reveal of this video. So once we built up the sides, it was a matter of putting the back on here, the windshield, which you can see that looks pretty good. You've got the chair, if I can just look over without getting the shadow, you can see the patination on the back. I think that looks pretty good. You know, you've got your decoration, you can look through your windshield and just about see where you're going, which is pretty good. And then, like I say, it was just about getting the wheel on. Fender just fitted underneath, as you can see, the connections there, and it was easy peasy. The actual sidecar was a nice build. It wasn't as stressful because you didn't have to build up the motor and stuff. The only little hard part I had was when we originally fitted the back part on here, it was a bit tight to this bottom piece. Not anymore, but you can see basically I'd got the little clips that this ticks to the other way around, so those at the bottom, it was pushing it up. Once I got them in the right way, absolutely perfect. I think this is a lovely display piece. I think it's been a good build. I will now come to something on the instructions which I think is quite important. You can see there it quite clearly says 8+. Now, do I think somebody who is 8 could build this set? The answer to that would be yes, but, and there is a but here, there are some fiddly parts. If you press too hard, everything collapses and goes everywhere, so they would need help. There is no way, in my opinion, you could give an 8-year-old child to build this set without any assistance, without having some problems. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Yes, it can be done. Yes, with help from an adult, I believe you could get it together with an 8+-year-old child. That little bit older, maybe 10 or 12, especially 12, you know more or less than really not to push, or when to push, what to push. And then obviously you don't get your cascade failures as such. But no, not for me, not an 8+. The set itself, really, really good. The build, enjoyable. Like I say, repeating myself quickly, the plan's not detailed enough for me. I think if there was a digital version, I would have preferred it, and I would have enjoyed it more because I could zoom in and zoom out. But on the whole, like I say, really enjoyed it. Glad I built it. Very, very good. I think, if I remember rightly, it was a real cheap set to buy. I think it was around about £30, £35, no more than £35 for a 700-piece set. What can I say? Now, there's going to be a lot of you out there who know that this is a play on the Lego set. Lego have released their Hagrid's motorbike and sidecar. That's what it really is. They have obviously kept off the Harry Potter thing, obviously due to copyright. Totally get that, totally understand that. But so this is a complete, you know, they're obviously doing the cheaper version. They haven't lost anything in doing that. The quality is still there. The build ability is still there. Very, very quickly, quality of bricks is brilliant. Clutch power and the like. I don't actually know who DK Tech, what bricks they use, but they're good. They're clutch good. There's no problems. Everything is absolutely as it should be, and it really, really, really is that good. there's not a lot I can say. Is it worth the money? Yes, it is. Would I give you the thumbs up to build and enjoy? I would say yes. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you want a Hagrid's bike that doesn't have a horrible looking figure on it like the Lego one does. Again, that's just my opinion. I think the two figures, the Hagrid and the Harry Potter on that set, is dreadful. And they've been better off just doing the bike without the characters. It would have been interesting to see if we'd have had minifigs, but I mean, if you look at the size of the actual bike, Hagrid would have had to have been pretty big to ride it, and then you've got, obviously, it would have had to have been a bigger, mind you, Harry's like he's young, isn't he, at the time. I think Harry does go on the bike again later in the films, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong with that, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched the films. But like I say, I don't actually remember how much the Lego set is, but I know it's a lot more than the £35 that I paid for this set with the postage. And like I say, it is a real good set. I've enjoyed it, and I give anybody the thumbs up to say, if you do like the look of it, if you've watched these videos and you've been thinking, shall I, shan't I? Yeah, Kev says yes. Square Ghost gives his thumbs up and says it's a decent set for the money. You're not paying that much for it, and you're going to get a lot of enjoyment building it. Pay close attention to those build instructions. Other than that, absolutely brilliant. And with that, I know this review is going to be running into that high numbers again, nearly 12 minutes just over, but I think it's worth it. I think I've summed up the set good enough for you all to have a good look, to get my points over that I needed to get over. If you want to look back to the build, all I can say is please just look back to the other three parts, as in part 1, 2 and 3 is the actual build of this bike and sidecar, and you'll see anything that needs pointing out I did point out. And with that, like I say, thanks very, very, very much for watching. If anybody's watched this far in the review, I hope I've been able to help anybody who's thinking about buying this set, or merely just wanted to take a look at the DK Tech Creators version of this bike. It is not a clone of the Lego set. I repeat that. It is not a clone. It is their own version, and I really like the look of the version. Really, really good. DK Tech Creations, this is my second set by them after the Magical Owl. You'll have seen that already on the channel. I really like DK. I think they're good. I think the quality of brick is good. I think in general the build plans are very good. Nothing to really worry about. Just pay close attention to them and you won't go wrong. And if you want to follow us on to the next build tomorrow, then please, if you haven't already, click on that subscribe button and you'll follow whatever we do next. I have not got an idea what it is yet, so we'll wait and see. It'll be a surprise for me, as it will be a surprise for you. And with that, I'm just going to say thanks for watching, anybody. Like I say, any time that you give, I know time is precious. They do say that, and it's very, very true. And you know the score, you know the drill. My name's Kev. I am Square Ghost, and I'll see you all on the flip side.